Assalamu alaikum, Mariam.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Walaikum assalam, ma'am. Ah,
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Alhamdulillah. How are you, ma'am?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Today we will be completing the complete LO1, inshallah.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So 1.4 assessment criteria says establish success criteria for the achievement of the research proposal. Now, when we talk about thesis is about, in the end, we always add the recommendation, conclusion part. But after the methodology, we call that a research proposal. We did in the last class at what research proposal is. So there is a specific criteria to access whether you have succeed in achieving that proper assessment criteria for the specific research proposal or not. We will be doing that, how we establish that for our research. Okay.
Okay.
Establishing success criteria for a research proposal involves creating clear and measurable guidelines that reflect the objectives and the purpose of the research. That is, we are going to talk about the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Everything should be perfect, not a fantasy base, which is not even realistic. So, here is an example template for the success criteria in a research proposal. Objective is objective number one: conduct a comprehensive literature review on the impact of technology on employee productivity. Now, this is the topic which I selected because of the, I think, scenario. And literature review, again, it comes under the methodology. Now, what the success criteria could be? Obviously, it is related to the SMART element. Specific: complete a literature review covering relevant studies published within the last 5 years. That is, whatsoever topic you have chosen, you are going to take at least 5 years of the research past papers. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, because sometimes what happened is, if I talk about my topic for when I was in the fourth semester, smartphone addiction, I even found the data from 90s paper as well. So it depends. Sometimes you get the data for the latest year. It is better to access the latest papers. But sometimes it is not possible. People haven't touched that topic yet. So what we can do is we can reach
Mm.
for the previous next 5 years. It is like that.
Ma'am, that old data will be available on internet, or do we have to?
On the
Uh,
internet, everything is available on the Google Scholar. On the Google Chrome, you can write
mm.
Google Scholar and you will find it out.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Here it is. You're going to click on the first thing, and
Okay.
here you can find the articles, case law, everything is over here. All right. For example,
Okay, ma'am.
let's find about CRM, the corporate social responsibility topic. Now you can see everything,
Hmm.
every
Okay,
paper
ma'am.
you can find out easily since 2023, 20, and the custom ranges sort by date. You can just, you can say, rearrange the data, the dates, and you can find the relevant data to it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Achievable. Allocate the dedicated time for the literature review, approximately 20 hours per week. This depends on you. Focus on the studies related to the tech impact on various industries and job roles. Now, whatever the topic you have selected, you have to see what is the effect of it on the other industries, on the other um, competitors, rivals, and the job roles as well. Time bound. Complete the literature review within the first 2 months of the research project. It depends on us. Like in your semester, in 1 year, there is a criteria that you have to complete 8 subjects only. So it has to you that how you do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then in the same way, we have objective number two: administer surveys to the access employee satisfaction with the current tech tools. Here again, develop a survey questionnaire addressing the key aspects of technology satisfaction. This is what we could do in this aspect. Measurable: collect responses from at least 300 employees across different departments. This is how we're going. We have defined the quantity. That is, we want at least 300 surveys reply. Utilize online survey tools to reach a diverse sample of employees, Google Forms, and the Google surveys, which we can easily make on the internet. Then include the questions tailored to access satisfaction with specific software and hardware. Now, there are certain software, again, tools and techniques which we use to make surveys rather than only going to the Google and downloading the templates. We can do that custom based as time bound. Conduct and analyze survey results within a 4 week period. The moment you get and fetch the results, you can accumulate the data within a 4 week, that is a month, so that we can write and bound that down in the literature review. Objective number three, analyze the impact of technology on productivity metrics by comparing pre and post implementation data. Now, there are certain, you can say, a metric, measuring metrics through which we collect the data, like the KPI indicators, GMPI, and so on. The first thing specific, again, the SMART criteria, identify the relevant product metrics such as project completion time and error rates. Now, this is going to be a productivity metric that how long you want to complete the project. And definitely, when we complete the project or when we are doing the process of completing it, we do find the errors, we do find problems. So, we have to encounter that with the solutions. Measurable. Collect the data for a minimum of 6 months before and after the tech implementation. That is, for the latest results and the latest calculations, we can grab the data for the 6 month period. Collaborate with relevant departments to access and analyze productivity data. For example, you want to do the research on the specific organization, but your target department is only three or four. Maybe the manufacturing department, stitching department, research and development department, and so on. Complete the comparative analysis within a 3 period of time. That is the comparative analysis with your rivals, with your competitors. Objective number four, provide actionable recommendations based on research findings. So, whatever the research we have done, we are going to recommend to the recommendation part in it, that is the comment section. Formulate a set of practical recommendations to enhance technology utilization. Generate at least 5 recommendations supported by research evidence. That is, you are not going to talk in air. You have to talk by the evidence, by the proof, and then you have to tell that I have research on these and these articles or on these and these in part. That is why I'm recommending this. Collaborate with cross functional teams to validate and refine recommendations. Not only depending on your department, you can cross check from the other departments as well by conducting meetings or a collaborative sort of virtual meetings as well, if it is not possible to have on ground level meeting. Ensure recommendations aligned with the organization's strategic goals. In the end, the thing is all about that whatsoever research decisions you are taking, they should be aligned with the organization's goals, whether they are strategic decisions, whether they are daily decisions, operational decisions. Present finalized recommendations with the final month of the research project. Now you have done a lot of part. More than half of the thing is complete. Now you have to inculcate that within the project, that is your research part. These were the four basic objectives that comes under the or lies under the success criteria of the certain objectives of your research. Now, these are the general steps and considerations. I talked about the KPI indicators, so we will talk about that now. Clear objectives. Clearly articulate the specific objectives of the research. What do you intend achieve through your research? Basically, why you're doing it? What will you achieve from it? Definitely, you saw a problem in the organization. You want to encounter that with your research and proposing a solution with it. So that is why you're conducting it. Ensure that the objectives are, again, the SMART element. KPI, key performance indicator. Determine the indicators that will measure the success of each objective. Now, we discussed four objectives. What is the ratio of success on the scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5? We are going to mark that. These could be quantitative or qualitative metrics that reflect the desired outcomes. Quantifiable measures. Make sure that your success criteria are quantifiable, that is, you can measure at least. This makes it easier to access and measure progress. For example, instead of a vague goal like improve employee satisfaction. Now, this is not a vague statement. What is vague here? You haven't explained anything. Why you want to improve? What is the reason you want to conduct this? What will you achieve after doing such thing? You might set a specific target percentage increase in employee satisfaction scores. Maybe the absenteeism rate is quite high in your organization, labor turnover rate is quite high. So these are the factors. Even in the assignments, my students, what they do is they only write one word, like these line, improve employee satisfaction. How, example, nothing is given. That is quite a vague statement.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Establish timelines for achieving each objective. This helps in monitoring progress and ensures that the research stays on track. That is, within a period of 6 months, within a period of month, it depends on us. Budget and resource consideration. I told you that in developing nations, we don't get the budget for the funding of our research projects, but in developed nations, we do get that. They pay us to do the research. That is why, even if you remember in the time of Corona and the COVID, there was a high funding to the scientists. That is why the vaccines were able to get in the hands of the normal people, even. Although they were not the correct solution, but that is how things goes on. Stakeholder satisfaction. Consider the satisfaction of the stakeholders involved in or affected by the research. This could include internal teams, management, external partners, or clients. And these are all the stakeholders. You know now that there are two kinds of stakeholders. One, the internal, which are related to the business organization inside, and the one which are the affectees or the external one, like the government, consumers, the other shareholders which are investing in your organization. Ethical consideration. If your research involves ethical consideration like surveys, questionnaires, define success criteria related to the ethical conduct of the research. That is, you're not going to reveal their names, reveal their opinions. You're only going to accumulate the result. Lastly, we have flexibility. While it is important to have clear success criteria, also allow for some flexibility. Research projects may encounter unforeseen challenges and the criteria should be adaptable. Now, the students who were doing the research in the fourth semester at the time of the year was 2019, 2020 March. The COVID came and there was an urge in the university that it is going to be closed. It is like a virus which is literally killing the people out at the time of COVID-19 pandemic. So what happened? The research people did not submit the research. It was not that much fruitful because the examiners they could easily fail you up. But then what happened is everything got online. The teachers they were not trained how to conduct the classes from the Zoom app, from the Microsoft Teams app, Slack. It was quite new, and Microsoft Teams is quite difficult to use as well. Once you get hand on it, then it's easy. It is more appropriate than the Zoom. But before that, nobody, like literally, nobody had an idea that we can even teach the students or we can conduct the exams online as well in the developing nations even. Okay. For example, this is an objective. Improve the consumer satisfaction with the company's product. This is the objective. What the KPI indicator could be? Achieve a 15% increase in the net promoter score. NPS, this is a scale which we use on a scale of 1 to 10. We mark now in general that we are going to give you 5 star, we are going to give you 7 star. People can be way too good, people could be way too poor. It is like that. Timeline. Implement changes based on initial findings within the first 3 months and monitor the net promoter scores over the next 3 months. Maybe in the start you get 10 stars, 10 on 10, but your efficacy and your efficiency it decreases. What will happen? When they're checking you within the time period of 3 months, they can reassess that. Maybe it is now 7. You're not teaching that well. It is just an example. Remember,
Hmm.
success criteria should align with the overall goals of the research and provide a basis for evaluation. Definitely, when you're going to make a research proposal, there is a room for strengths and weaknesses. There is a room for recommendations. And it is our right as an even examiner that we should assess that according to our view. Adjustments can be made as the research progress and more insights are gained. I hope this part is clear to you, Miriam. One,
Yes, ma'am.
that's great. The second last one, assessment criteria 1.5. Prepare a project plan that identifies key milestones and critical pathways. First of all, we will discuss what actually project plan is in the research proposal. Then we will be identifying that how we can achieve that, what are the critical pathways, what are the critiques associated with it. A project plan is a comprehensive document that outlines the scope, objectives, task, milestone, timelines, resources, risk, and other essential elements of a project. Now, whenever you in general define a project or make a project, you do certain homework, you do brainstorming. Now, all those brainstorming includes the outlines, deadlines, scope, why you're doing it, what will you achieve, what will be the task, how you're going to conduct the meeting, everything is in it. It serves as a roadmap that guides the project team throughout the project lifecycle, ensuring the clarity, organization, and effective management. Just like I have a guideline, I have a roadmap that is the course outline provided by the ATHE to me. And that is how I make my slides in accordance to indicative content, suggested evidence, and the document of the assignment brief. Then I'm able to conduct your classes. That is how we even take the project plan as first we always make a roadmap, then we try and start apply and giving the duty responsibilities according to the members associated.
Ma'am, your the project planning on strategic planning is one and the same, right?
Yes, it is. Now there are certain key components of the project plan which includes project title in general, what is the game of your project, a concise and descriptive name for the project. That is why it is always recommended try to choose those topics which are eye catching as well. Sometimes inside they may be boring, but the topic, the title, they should it should be way too attractive. Objective, clear statements defining what the projects aim to achieve. Key milestones, significant points, that is the important parts in the project timeline, indicating the progress or completion of the major task. That is, within 2, 3 weeks, we're going to do this and that. Like, I have decided that I'm going to conduct 10 classes for this course, and we have decided that how we are going to do this. This is the milestone which we have achieved. Critical
Yes.
pathways, the sequence of the task. Again, now we have done task number one. We are completing it right now. Then I am going to move to assignment brief task one so that everything is aligned together. When you're going to do your assignment in back home, it gets easy to go through by the document when you already know that how the sequence is. Everything should be amalgamated. Resources, the people, materials, and the equipment required for the project execution. Obviously, you alone cannot complete the project. You are a project head, maybe you are the MQM in it, but again, every participant is important in the project. Okay, risk assessment and management. Identification of the potential risk and strategies to mitigate or manage them. Obviously, whenever we start with the project planning or anything, there is a risk associated with it. Sometimes it can improve way too quickly. Sometimes there is discriminations from the other employees, from the competitors. There could be so many reasons. Contingency measures, backup plans in case of unforeseen circumstances or delays. That is, we always and we should have a backup plan behind us. If we are not able to succeed in XYZ degree, what we will do? You are going to use your skill. With the learning, with the education, every person should have a skill as well. Like the housewives, they are the students as well, they are the mothers as well, they are the teachers, maybe teachers, a businesswoman. They're doing a lot of part at one time. Sensitivity of information, consideration of the confidentiality and protection of the sensitive data. That is, you're not going to breach any data. It is very important. Schedule, a detailed timeline specifying when each task or milestone is expected to be completed. Like, I have already decided that how I'm going to break learning outcome number one. First three assessment criteria is in one lecture, the last three assessment criteria in the other lecture. So that it gets easy to absorb, to understand each and every component. Communication system.
Yes, ma'am.
Methods and tools for the team communication, collaboration, and updates. That is all the data, as in which software we are going to use, how we are going to collaborate with
Mm.
the team. Whether it's going to be a physical meeting, whether it's going to be a virtual meeting, it all depends, and it is decided in the communication system. Okay. Now we are sure that what the project planning is. Now we are going to do the rest part of the assessment criteria. So the project plan serves as a dynamic document that can be adjusted and updated as the project progresses, allowing for adaptability to the changes or unforeseen challenges. Maybe I have made a roadmap, but there is some problem in it. Like I have to conduct this lecture number 2 on 23rd of Feb, but you were not available, maybe for some reason. So I'm
Hmm.
conducting it today. So this is the change in the unforeseen challenge in the progress in my timeline or roadmap which I have made. It is a crucial tool for
Hmm.
project
Yes, ma'am.
managers to ensure successful project completion within the scope, type, and budget and constraint. This course is not difficult at all. Like literally, Miriam, we can apply that to the daily life examples, and then we can do it. I will also
Okay,
provide
ma'am.
you the list of the topics for the research on which you can do for the
Hmm.
specific course. I'll share that on the next class, inshallah.
Ma'am, it will be totally depend on us what topic we are choosing, or it will be given.
No, it is all up to you, but it should be under
Okay.
the name of the strategic development. It should be under the heading of
Okay.
strategic development. Then it's up to you whatsoever what kind of topic you want to choose. It could be on
Hmm.
a greener side as well. It could be on like a controversial topic as well. It all depends on you how you tackle it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now we will see that how we can create a project plan, which involves identifying key milestones, critical pathways, resources, assessment, management, contingency measures, access to relevant information, goals, schedule, communication system, and sensitivity consideration. This is why I have explained everything in before in terms. Okay. Um, we are on which slide? 21. Project plan. How it is going to be. Technology impact on employee productivity. This is my title. What are the goals of it? Understand the current state of technology utilization in the organization, assess employee satisfaction and challenges related to existing technology tools, analyze the impact of tech on key productivity metrics. Now, one thing which you must be noticing that I'm trying to involve the word of tech again and again because that is my main topic. Impact on employee productivity is the second variable, and technology is my first variable. Oh, yeah, I remember. Last class, I told you that there are two kinds of variable. One is dependent, and the other one is independent. Dependent is the
Yes, ma'am.
body, which is depending on the other, and independent is the alone one. Here, you have tell me that what is the dependent and the independent variable, just by reading the topic.
Technology is independent, and
Yes,
employee is dependent.
correct. If you're able to detect these things now, what is dependent variable and what is independent variable, then trust me, you can literally do your thesis too if the person
Okay,
has this
ma'am.
ability, because most of the students, they don't even know that what are the dependent and independent variables. Even me in my start, I remember I used to get so much confused that my teacher, they used to give me exercises for the home through which I used to detect which what are the independent variables, what are the dependent variables, because sometimes what happens is the independent is only one, but dependents they could be so many, and it is
Yes,
difficult.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, these are the key milestones. Let's do that. For the literature review, for example, complete comprehensive literature review, the start date and the end date. This is just a template, okay? How things are
Hmm.
actually. Then for the survey develop and finalize survey questionnaire, the start date and the end date. And the same way, administration, data collection, analysis, recommendation, validation, refinement, presentation, preparation. After even the research proposal, the students they do give the presentations as well. The examiners they hold the document in their hands, and the like a
Hmm.
person like me or you, they give the presentation to the examiners that what they have done in the research. Because honestly, nobody has
Okay.
that much time to literally read one
Hmm.
and one word. From the presentation, they detect
Hmm.
mistakes.
Okay, ma'am.
So here in the key milestones, you are clear that we are talking about the dates, time period, basically. In the critical pathways, now what we are going to have. First thing, literature review. It must be completed before the survey development to inform the questionnaire content. Obviously, when the survey is made, only then you can detect what kind of literature review, what kind of paper you want to access now. It depends on the result. Maybe the result is quite negative as per your experience or as per your expectations. Survey development must precede survey administration, and the survey administration must be completed before the data collection for the productivity metrics. Obviously, the survey is going to be made first, and after that, you're going to collect the data. Then, data collection needed before the data analysis can commence. Everything is, you can say, like a step in procedure. First, you have to go through the first step, only then you can achieve the second step. You cannot miss anything. Then, recommendation
Then
formulation. Yeah, yeah.
collection of data is done along with the survey, right? You said
Yes.
survey is done first and then collection of data is done.
Yes, because we are collecting this, we made the survey, right? Now,
Yes.
the responses which we get, that is what the data collection is.
Okay, analyzing you mean to say, like after collecting data, we are sorting out what is the important or like that.
No, data collection is receiving the data from the consumers, and analysis is the one which you are going to write in your methodology. This is my analysis. This
Okay.
is what the results were. You expected it to be 90%, but the results went 80%, like that. That is what analysis is.
Okay. Okay.
And in the end, recommendation precedes validation and refinement. Obviously, we have a set standard for recommendation as well. It depends on us how we are going to conclude that. Resources. Dedicated research team members for the literature review, survey development, and data analysis. Obviously, there is a certain time of a kind of team when we talk in the organization which are actually helping you in the collection of the data, because it depends on us whether we want to go for the secondary data or the primary data. Primary data research is always difficult because you are the first one to do the research on that topic. Access to the survey tools for administration, collaboration with relevant departments for productivity data. Obviously, I told you about the cross-functional part. So you have to gain the information from the rest of the departments as well. Risk assessment and management. Here, the risk potential delays in the survey administration due to the unforeseen circumstances. You are waiting for, you have already decided the key milestones, timings, and everything. But there was a problem and you're not able to fetch the data. So obviously, everything is going to be abrupt. You have to rearrange the key milestones now. Mitigation. The solutions basically develop contingency plans such as extended the survey period if needed. Now, what contingency measures we could take? Extended survey period. If response rates are lower than anticipated, extend the survey administration period. That is, uh, when we do the masters, maximum surveys we need up to 2000, up to 700. There is a limit, the lowest limit and the highest limit. So we have to fulfill that no matter what, and it is the most difficult part, the masters part. You have to fetch the data no matter what. You have to contact your peer groups, you have to contact your relatives and your networking skills as well. Communication system. Regular team meetings, email updates, and the shared project management tools for the effective communication. The project plan provides a structured framework for managing the research proposal, ensuring the key milestones are met and the risks are effectively addressed. Adjustments can be made based on ongoing assessments and feedback from the project team as well. Okay, now this is a real life example of the project plan, how it looks like. It is about, I think, XYZ Corporation, a fictional one. The project title is Tech Post Productivity Initiative. What are the goals? Understand the current state of technology utilization in the XYZ Corporation, assess the employee satisfaction and the challenges relating to existing technology tools, analyze the impact of technology on the key productivity metrics, provide actionable recommendations for improving the tech adoption and productivity. These are the minimum or you can say maximum goals which we can achieve here. What could be the key milestones? Literature review conducted from Jan 1st till Feb 15. This is the time limit. Survey development, survey questionnaire finalized by the March 1st. Survey administration, survey administrated to all employees from March 15 to 31st. Data collection, pre and post implementation productivity metrics collected from the April 1st to May 15. Data analysis, analysis of the survey responses and the productivity data completed March till the 31st of May. So there is a lot of time, almost 1.5 month. Recommendation formulation, practical recommendation developed by June 15, how we are going to proceed with everything. Validation and refinement, again, collaborated with the teams for the validation and refinement from June 20th till 5th of July. And lastly, the presentation, the final one, that should be 15th of July. So the whole period is about 6 months, from January to July. This is the maximum time period. Then we have the literature review, that is the critical pathway, where must be completed before the survey development to inform questionnaire content. Survey development must precede survey administration, must be completed before the data collection for productivity metrics, and the data collection part needed before the data analysis can commence. Now, are you clear with the question? You asked me
Yes,
that
ma'am.
where was the difference. So here is what we have to do and how we have to do. And the end,
Yes, ma'am.
precedes the validation and refinement, that is from your peer groups and members. Lastly, resources. Research team led by the HR department. We have defined the specific authority to the authoritarian. Access to the survey tools for administration, collaboration with the IT department, HR department, and the department heads of productivity data. Tech tools for data analysis and report preparation, and this is the so on period. Extended survey period part. If the response rates are lower than the anticipated, extended the survey administration period to ensure the comprehensive feedback. If we are not fetching the enough data, we can definitely increase the data. Then the sensitive information, strict adherence to intellectual property and data protection regulations was ensured through the research progress. That is, each and every ethical part was taken way too seriously. Schedule, that is the time period. Communication system, how we are going to do that, that is through video conferencing, email updates, collaborative project management tools, and so on. So this was the whole uh, assessment criteria 1.5. I hope it is clear to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we're doing the last part for the learning outcome number one, the merit part. Justify. Whenever the word justify come, as it is, this is the command verb as well, this means you're going to justify it by the judgment, by convincing argument. You're going to prove their point with the support of examples, obviously. The research area chosen in order to achieve strategic business development. Now, the topic which you're going to select for your research, that is going to be under the subtopics of strategic business development. So you have to prove why you chose this topic. It should be a strong one. Justify the research area for strategic business development. In order to justify the chosen research area for strategic business development, it is essential to establish a strong link between the research and the stated needs of business development. This justification provides a rationale for the selection of the research area and demonstrates its relevance to the overall goals and objectives of the organization. So this is how we do it. Here is a breakdown of the key points to consider. Alignment with the business objectives. Obviously, whatever the topic you have decided, as usual, we have to align that with the goals of business. Clearly articulate how the chosen research aligned with the broader business objectives and goals. Demonstrate a direct connection between the research and the strategic priorities of the organization. Then identification of the business need, that is the needs of the business, why it is necessity for the business to do the research for that specific topic. Clearly identify and define the specific business needs that the research aims to provide evidence or examples that might or that highlight the existing apps gaps, that is why we are conducting it, challenges or opportunities with the organization. That is a kind of SWOT analysis. Strategic impact. Emphasize the strategic impact of the research on the organization's growth, competitiveness, or the overall success. Showcase how the outcomes of the research will contribute to achieving a competitive advantage or overcoming the marketing challenge. Obviously, the research which you're doing for the organization, it is a paid one. So you have to be way too sure that the time which you're inculcating for that organization, the budget you're using for it, how it is going to be challenging for your market, for your competitors, for your rivals group, and what will be the unique part in it. Market trends and industry analysis. Conduct a thorough analysis of market trends and industry dynamics related to the chosen research area. Definitely, it should be quite interesting topic, and it should be related to the latest trend according to the markets and industry, what is happening in it. Highlight how the research will position the organization to capitalize on emerging opportunities or navigate industry shifts. That is, if the business company in future wants to conglomerate, want to acquire, do the acquisition or merger, or they want to do diversification, what will be the chances that your research is going to help? You should find that problem, that gap that is going to benefit them. The research should be so fruitful and thoughtful that the owners, the stakeholders, the shareholders, they should think about it that yes, this is the problem and we should consider it. Consumer and stakeholder consideration. Consider the needs and expectations of the consumers, stakeholders, and other relevant parties. Illustrate how the research outcomes will enhance consumer satisfaction, loyalty, or engagement. Obviously, the key participants are always consumers and the other stakeholders as well. So we have to keep them in the consideration. Risk mitigation. Address potential risks or challenges that the organization may face if the chosen research area is not explored. Demonstrate how the research acts as a proactive measure to mitigate risk and uncertainties. If you're doing a primary research, only then it is going to be the primary research only then when the research is not taking place beforehand. Then definitely the funding is going to be more, the people are going to be more interactive, or you can say inculcated in your research. Everybody wants to take the part in that specific research. Why? Because it is a new one. Okay. Then we have the rest of the points. Yes, we're done with it. By addressing these key points, the justification establishes a compelling case for why the chosen research area is not only relevant but crucial, essential for driving strategic business development within the organization. This is the conclusion part. Now we will be doing the same thing with the example scenario so that it gets easier for you to understand each and everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, Consider a real life scenario to illustrate the justification for a research area for strategic business development. The first scenario or the topic is XYZ Corporation, and the title is Enhancing Digital Presence for the Market Expansion. This is the topic. The first thing is alignment with the business objectives. These are actually the same point, but now we are going to do with the example. The XYZ Corporation, a global tech company, aims to expand its market reach and increase online visibility to align with its overarching objective of becoming a leader in the digital space. That is, now the problem could be they want to hire a social media manager, the expert one, which is having the hand on the latest tools. Identification of the business needs. The company identifies a need to enhance its digital presence as a consumer behavior shift towards online interactions. Since the current data reveals a gap in reaching potential consumers through digital channels. That is true. Maybe your potential focus group, they could be adults. Adults, I mean the elder people, like age 40 plus or 50 plus. Maybe they're not able to use Instagram and Twitter mostly. So it is going to be difficult for your business to get the reach. Strategic impact. Investing in research focused on improving the company's digital presence is strategically crucial. The outcomes are expected to position XYZ Corporation as an innovative and consumer centric brand, thereby gaining a competitive edge or advantage that is to be unique when having a USP for the research. Unique selling. Market trends and industry analysis. Analysis indicates a growing trend of consumers preferring online platforms for the product research and purchases. The research aims to capitalize on this trend, ensuring XYZ Corporation remains at the forefront of technological advancement. Like in Pakistan, we have Daraz, we have Alibaba, we have AliExpress. In the international level, we are having Amazon Prime, Amazon itself, Shein. So why these platforms get developed a lot? Because of us, because of the demand. We wanted to purchase things online. That is why. The e-commerce, Shopify, what are these? These are quite trending things.
Yes, ma'am.
Consumer and stakeholder consideration. Understanding that consumers seek seamless online experiences, the research emphasizes consumers turn to digital solutions. That is, the customer healthcare, sorry, a customer support system. They should be available 24/7 because there in Saudi, for example, time is 6:37. Here is 9:37. So the time management is different. If I compare that with the Canada, they're having a morning at this time. Risk mitigation. Failing to address the digital gap poses the risk, including losing market share to more digitally accepted or adept competitors. The research act as a preemptive measure to mitigate this risk and secure a sustainable position in the market. Now, why a sustainable position? Because your research it should be have a prolonged effect, not for more than a year, but more than a years. Like people should work on it. It should be way too important for it. That is why it is not easy to conduct a research in the organization within the premises of it. Lastly, resource allocation. The company allocates a significant budget and forms a dedicated team for the research. The investment is justified by the potential return on investment through increased online sales, brand loyalty, and market share. Did you get the point now? If they're funding you, then there is a reason behind that. They are going to fetch that from the sales, from the marketing schemes.
Yes,
Obviously,
ma'am.
you're doing the research because you want to benefit the organization. When they're going to achieve that benefit, they are going to get triples of the profit out of it. Long term viability. XYZ Corporation envisions the research contributing to its long term viability by establishing a robust digital foundation. This aligns with the company's vision of being an industry leader and ensures adaptability to future technology changes. In this scenario, the justification for the research area revolves around the need to strategically position the XYZ Corporation in the digital landscape. This is the main problem, and this was the main criteria. We want that this company should be digitally formed more. Why? Because we want to gain more profit, we want to get the consumer attention. Anticipating the future market trends and ensuring sustained growth and competitiveness. They want to be sustained as well. That is, in the market, they want to prolong for a longer period of time and they want to be compatible with the competitors as well. This was their main aim. Clear, Miriam? These are the
Yes,
references.
ma'am.
Okay.